What directions do you usually give to your voice actors, Ken, when working with a fella next to you?
Well, you know, the great part about working with voice actors who specialize in voice is that they bring such a rich toolbox with them. So part of my kind of pre-interview is to sort of see what they have in their toolbox. When casting the short for Magnum Farce, what I did is I used sagindy.com, and I listed it there. They'll give you a production number, and then you can ask for actors. In this case, I met Kyle through fellow voice actor Dan Warren, who is in Geeks the Musical, by the way, right now, playing through the 8th, if you want to look that up. Nice. So I had actually people call into my voicemail number and say, this is what I want. I want a sort of crazy sniper that has a unique spin to them, and I have them audition on my voicemail, which is crappy sound quality, but you get a good feel for the voices. So actually, I cast the lead, Matt Godecker, off voicemail. Shirley Hughes, who played Mrs. Spilk, the grieving widow there. She came in, and actually early on, Kyle did my recording, and Shirley Hughes came in, and she just really laid it out. She left it all at that microphone. She had so many crying runs and shout takes, and she was amazing. And so when you bring your actors, you know, you can have a preconceived notion, and you almost need to, but also be open to what they bring.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's so much richer than what you imagine.
And they improvise sometimes too, which is great.
So we've done that on Super Power Video too. We always have to have the storyboard usually, so the voice actors can kind of see what their character's scenario is in. But it's also fun when they go off and rotate them, and maybe sometimes it actually ends up in a cartoon. So
you get some really spontaneous and cool stuff out of improvisation. And you got to let the actor be himself. Sometimes they'll add something that you didn't even think of, and it's hysterical. They'll just drop a line.
And do voice first, because if you do scratch tracks and have your animators bring things up, then you have to go back and redo when your actors bring something.
Acting in the attitude.
You don't want to do a line reading ever for a voice actor where like you tell the actor, oh, do it like this, and then you do a bad impersonation of the voice. You don't want to. That's one big no-no in like voice directing.
They get insulted.
Oh yeah, and it's bad too because then they're trying to imitate something rather than coming up with the original ideas. And the thing is too, you can do. Usually we do like 2 versions of a storyboard. A rough version before, just to show the actor, okay, this is on action. They don't really need to see that necessarily, as long as you can direct them and say, hey, you're running, your crotch is being bitten down on by a shark right now, but you don't mind, or whatever the direction is, you can tell them, and they'll do it on that action, and then they'll know what they're doing. You don't have to have the board, but if you do, sometimes you can show that, but then usually what we do is we'll revise the storyboard after the actor records, because there's so much additional stuff that they bring. They're like, oh, that's awesome. You want to put that in the animation then.
It comes down to directing. That's really important. If you're going to have a couple of friends working with you or a crew, but you're the skipper, you're the one at the top, you got to be able to clearly communicate your idea to the crew and get everyone on the same page as you. Like he said, shark bites you in the crotch. You got to be able to explain that to the actor right there in the booth and to get what you want out of them. So that's important. That's a good skill to have.
One thing
also, probably one of the things we don't know as well as Kyle does is the don'ts. So maybe
the don'ts.
Tell us
that's a good point.
What don'ts do.
What don't to do.
What don'ts? Well, I don't know. The line read, as you guys were saying.
That's horrid, man.
So yeah, a lot of actors get really offended by that. I personally don't, because if I'm not giving them, if I take 5 or 10, if the director's going a little more like, it's like just tell me, just give me the performance that you don't, and I'll do that, and I'm personally okay with that. Now on this particular project, we did not get to record together as a cast. Like we rushed Shirley over to my apartment. I recorded my tracks in my apartment. I used Audacity, as a matter of fact, because it's free and it works. So definitely, it's a great way to go. But eventually, if you're able, especially technology has gotten so much cheaper nowadays. USB mics that are studio quality, broadcast quality, for $100, $200, and sound like almost $1,000 and up mics. But you do have to have a good recording environment for that. You need either soundproofing. Luckily, my apartment is pretty dead sounding, but other people aren't so lucky. So you can hear the guy with a leaf blower outside. It's like, okay, I can't record right now. It's a very focused thing. I don't think I actually saw a picture of the sniper. I might have when I recorded it.
Yeah, I don't think we even had a concept
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. So I was looking at that. Literally, I had the whole screenplay, and I kind of highlighted my parts, and I was kind of approximating. We were kind of working through email back and forth. Ken wasn't actually there. My initial recording for the short, which you guys saw, the short version. But and then we did. Did we talk about the feature length?
Yes, and he's also, in the feature, he also voices Governor Schwarzenegger.
Say, get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper!
All right, we have 10 minutes left, so we haven't even got to animation yet.
Any questions?
But so after we've done the voice recordings, we do a thing called an animatic, which basically taking your storyboards, having the voices onto it with some sound effects. Basically, this is timing for animators, basically. So if you're working with other animators to help you out, this will help them so they know exactly how to animate, where this character is supposed to be, each thing, so let the feature.
And again, it can be pretty rough. It doesn't have to be finished. So this is right here looking at the timeline in Flash for a rough animatic for the episode you saw earlier. And just very, very rough, as you can see. But a couple frames where you kind of get the impression of what's going on. And some that are very quickly drawn too. And it should have the audio in here. I don't know what's going on with my computer.
There's
So yeah, so we had the final track for that one, which really helped. And then like look at this last drawing. This is completely sloppy, but it gets the point across. And especially when you're working Flash, you have the characters built. You know what they look like. So it's good to have proportions about right, but it doesn't have, drawings don't have to be on model. It's at least the way we do it. I know I've heard stories about Family Guy, and they have to actually trace the characters and have them perfectly. That's stupid. I'm just saying that's ridiculous. Why?
That's why I'm
you know
not
what the
there
characters
anymore.
look like. So I don't get it. But yeah, for what we do, and since when you're short in time like we are now, you just scribble it. It's fine. It's good. It gets the impression across.
Just get the idea out there, guys.
And after that, you can animate, and then what we do is we export in After Effects.
Right on top.
Yeah, and so we export a SWF file and.
So Wave. Another free program is Goldwave. You can download that and really not have to pay forever. And you can, cut your tracks down in that. And again, you're going to get from your voice actor about, I don't know, sometimes 10 to 20 different recordings. And you don't know at the time which one's the one you're going to use. There might be one that's your favorite, but you have to see how it all flows together with the timing, with the action, with the other actors, and then pick the one you want. So save multiple takes, put them in your timeline like that, let them see how they work together. Do your animatic, and then on top of it, we just do the animation. As you can see, it's right here in the scene dropped in, and that's
It all comes together seamlessly.
Oh, another good thing is freesound.org, because you're also going to need sound effects.
Sound effects, music.
GarageBand's really good because
If you're not a musician.
Yeah.
SFXR.
Yeah.
What's that?
Actually, that's more geared towards the UV sound effects.
What happened to your arms?
Huh?
What happened to your arms?
The shark did.
Are you cold in here?
The shark did.
All right, well, we could talk about promotion, but we're running short on time. We got 5 minutes, so we're going to open up to questions. So anyone, we got some prizes too, if anyone wants. I know we didn't get to go through as much as we liked, but you can always talk to us afterwards. We're also going to be doing a signing at David's booth.
since we're so short in time, and I'm sure you guys have
Any
more
questions? Any questions?
And you want to get autographs
Yes.
or something, we're going to be at booth 1532 down there, and that's all the way to the right when you go in. So go ahead.
Young lady.
You were telling about how to make a soundproof booth in your own home.
Yes.
Can you repeat again the process?
Very good. You can go to any art store and get foam core board. 3/8 inch thick is all you need. And basically you build a shell, and if you get Velcro, you can strap the corners together and get a box. Another way would be
Little box?
Yeah, well, the other way would be to go to
Cone
your,
of silence?
like Viking appliance dealer and get one of those big refrigerator boxes. Because it's not the shell that matters so much as the soundproofing foam.
The foam is what absorbs it, right?
Yeah.
Pillows work too, I found, because the problem was I got rid of my carpets in my home, and then it became very echoey, so I'd take my voice actor and wrap him in pillows on his head, and then it seemed to work, it sounded a lot better.
Also, it's good if a voice actor eats an apple before they do the voice recordings, too.
Green apple. Green apple, yeah. It makes the sound less wet.
Anybody
yeah.
else?
And then you want to experiment with different kinds of microphones for just the type of resonance and decay.
You got a prize.
A simple USB plug-in mic works, you know, as a cheap solution.
Yeah, when you're working with multiple voice actors, I know having them on set to get their
That's rare.
pacing
That's
right
rare.
together is good, but is it good to record that way too?
Not really. It turns into a mess. It's great for the actors, but I found that you're better off recording them one at a time. If you try to do it as a table read with everybody there, the actors have a great time, but directing that and getting good takes out of it, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. You got less control.
So with the actual recording, you still
Yeah.
have a set.
Yeah.
There is a function for a table read though, and that,
There is.
especially in comedy, you really won't
You
know
gotta
what
get
works.
your timing like down.
Yeah, until you hear, and also you will hear certain rhythms and repetitions that you don't want, that you won't see on the page.
We're running short on time in the red.
Yeah. What would you say, if any, are the virtues of using Flash as opposed to, say, like Smith Micro's Anime Studio?
Flash is great just because it's very easy, simple.
For some people,
I don't know.
I hate Flash.
You're talking about, what was the other program?
Anime Studio.
Oh, Anime Studio? Yeah, I mean, that's actually, see, I know Flash is not designed actually for animations for websites. And some of these other programs have a lot of specific tools for certain things, but for me, I find I can just very quickly just draw in the program, move a frame. It's simpler for me. And once you learn all about symbols and setting up symbols and subcomps like that, it becomes very quick. So I'd say, and also, they have trials. You can actually get like a free version for a while.
Yeah, and Flash has a lot of good tutorials, and there's a lot of people that use it, so, I mean, it's a good place to start. But I've heard a lot of good things about Anime Studio, though.
Yeah, I use it too.
Alright, well, unfortunately we are out of time, but we will be doing this panel again at PopCon LA, which is next week here. So we got postcards for it. You can get discount code if you want to come. It's going to be Sunday at noon. Actually, I think the same room actually. Also come up, get cards. We got to check out all our superpowerbuddystuff.com.
At manversusart.com podcast, guys.
Again, we'll all be at the booth, or most of us will be at the booth for a little bit.
Thank you.
If you come by 1532, and we can do sketches or whatever.
And
Just come grab us afterwards, and we'll be right out here if anybody's got any more questions.
and if you do a search for Magnum Clark on Facebook, I've got a group, and if you have any questions at all, just ask me.
So let's say a big boy, and I want a really tall boy, so I can make it bigger. And I want a boy with a really big torso. Like that. Leg length, I can do anything with arms, really. Bodybuilding, that's a real boy. Different? Make his arms really big.
Okay, so this is the introductory one, and so the next does have to be
Character or any other character.
some scope differences.
And then I can make it
Same factor. Okay, so